I would like to get a colored portrait of my daughter on my shoulder blade.
Oh, portraits of little kids. That is really hard. Their features are so soft. Definitely the hardest one up there.
Ooh, I just got nauseous.
For the next elimination tattoo, you'll be creating a portrait on your human canvas.
Man, I can't believe we're doing portraits. I did not see portrait coming.
This is Salvatore, and you'd like a tattoo of his mother on his right rib cage.
Ribs are so hard to tattoo. It's just a bad area to try to get a portrait. If I get him, I'm gonna be super bummed.
And finally, we have Johanna, who would like a portrait of her mother on the back.
Worried about putting it on anywhere on the stomach and the ribs. That means a huge battle for me.
I knew it. I knew I was gonna get the ribs. Ribs are so hard to tattoo, and when every little movement you make changes the facial features of a portrait, it's just a bad area to try to get a portrait. I have to convince my client to pick a different location, man. This is my last chance. It's $100 grand on the line. I'm not letting my client ruin those chances for me.
What other spots are you willing to get tattooed?
I have nothing on these areas, so
your legs are all filled up?
No, not my legs, but they're so huge. I don't want to put anything on my legs.
Anywhere where there's like a flat surface that I can really work with. The outside calf would be perfect just because it's so flat.
I mean, if it's like a issue, we can do it. We can do it on the leg.
That would be awesome.
We're gonna move the tattoo to his leg. This is make it or break it. I'm either gonna pull it off or pack my stuff and go home.
Well, good. I appreciate it, man.
About what era was this taken?
60s, 70s.
You know?
Johanna wants a portrait of her mother, and it's so small. I mean, the actual photograph of the face of her mother, you can't see anything.
It's kind of fuzzy, so I want to keep it about this size.
I'm very, very scared about this one because I could go home over having a busted grill when I couldn't even figure out what it's doing. Wow. I can't see the hair, I can't see the fuzz, I can't see nothing in this picture.
James Vaughn. How are you feeling about this piece?
It was a tough one. The original picture is actually like this big.
The portrait is not all that accurate to the photograph. Part of doing a portrait is being able to see accurately what's in the photo and translate that into the tattoo.
I don't consider myself a portrait artist. I just did my best.
Where I think you kind of lost it is you actually put some shading in her nose, where in the photo, there wasn't. It was more of a highlight on the tip of her nose, and you kind of shaded it out, which effectively changes the shape of her nose. The eyes look like they might be just a slight different shape than they are in the photo.
Kind of in the picture, a little.
The lettering that you did too, there's so much going on around it, all the flowers and flourishing, and it makes it very difficult to read, even if you can read Spanish. You know, I've learned the hard way over the years that sometimes less is more.
Your line work is shaky in this tattoo because you're in a shaky spot. The placement of this thing beat the hell out of you. And I feel like that's a little bit of self-inflicted because you allowed that to happen to yourself. The fact of the matter is where her face is, where it lands in that tattoo is where her body that's very voluptuous comes together and meets. So her face is almost on an indent of this girl's body. The bottom line is I'm not easing up on anybody. For the stakes being this high, you put yourself in a really tough spot to excel in this tattoo today.
Wowzers.
Josh.
You had a difficult photo to work from, man, so you definitely had a handicap on this.
Yeah, man, it was just a whited out picture.
With the whites of the eyes, what you've done is you've done what's in the picture. What I would have liked to have seen is maybe make the eyes look round and in the head, because they are so blown out in the photo that to fill it in with white like that really flattened out her expression.
Unless there's an actual highlight there, I would never put white in the eyeball like that because it does tend to flatten it out, and then plus it turns yellow with age. The lettering I liked, it was more minimal, where less is more sometimes.
I would have loved to seen some hair detail. You have the shape and the construction of the hair there with the shading, but you didn't really detail it out with any hairlines. Just a few touches here and there of some thin lines kind of make it look like hair.
There's a definite trick to hair that guy standing right back there can tell you one little trick that'll change your life, and it's so easy.
Little touches of detail like that are what make portraits really shine. You don't have to have exorbitant detail in every nook and cranny, but when you do, bring certain aspects of it out with little details here and there, the whole photo just kind of clicks. I think that's where you're lacking.
Between the two of you, we went back and forth. You guys both really hit in a lot of areas, and you also missed in some areas. There's so much on the line here. There's the 100 grand, the Ink magazine feature, but there can only be one winner here. James, the judges have decided you're going to the finale. Congratulations, man. Josh, you don't have what it takes to be Ink Master. Time to pack your machines and go home.
Who is this?
My grandmother.
Your grandmother. All right. The problem with portraits is anytime you have a curved surface, what it tends to do is create an optical illusion where it stretches their heads out. I'll squish it just a little bit. So when it goes around, it'll actually elongate it and it'll fix it.
Just as it's as close as possible to the actual picture, you
Hey,
know
man,
what I mean?
I'm gonna do my best for sure. You know, I haven't done a portrait in 10 years.
And you don't think their face should be like over more here?
And I've got a canvas who has very strong feelings how he wants this tattoo done. I wish there was a way I could figure out how to gauge the curve here. Black and gray is definitely not one of my strengths, and portrait's not one of my strengths. This is two of my weaknesses grouped into one challenge. It's gonna be a tough one.
Today, you must create a portrait tattoo. Remember, we're testing precision. If your tattoo doesn't look like the picture, you'll be packing. You have 6 hours to tattoo, and your time starts now.
I'm not gonna lie, dude, I was looking at like your art and it was kind of making me a little nervous because it's a portrait and I didn't really see any of those from you. So I was like, oh my God. I'm putting a lot of faith in you. That woman's a saint in my eyes. She always will be.
You know, you gotta have confidence in your artist because that negative projection sometimes works against you. My canvas is putting an immense amount of pressure on me.
Her face looks a little bit fatter.
We squish it down so it looks fatter. When we put it on your leg and it curves around your leg, it's gonna look skinnier. You see how it skinnies out? I'm convinced that the curve of the canvas is gonna elongate the portrait. By squishing it down a little bit, it's gonna compensate for that. I need you behind me on this, man.
Trust me, I need to be behind you on this.
Good. Everybody's wondering if I can pull this portrait off. It's pretty intimidating. I start coloring in the hair, and I'm realizing that squishing the photo was a bad idea. How you feeling about it?
As long as she don't look like she just got out of Taco Bell, I'm golden.
I gave this guy a fat grandma. That's the one fear that my canvas had.
We still talk about her like she's in the next room. That's how much she meant to the family.
I'm trying to project confidence in this scenario, even though I'm super freaking out on the inside.
Mr. Jesse Smith. How you feeling about this?
I feel like I dropped the ball.
We're judging precision. I gotta say, I don't feel like any of the details in this tattoo are precise.
The hair could be a little more realistic. Hair is a tough thing to do. It's one of the hardest things in a portrait. It could have been more detailed. It looks a little too just not real enough.
You look at this photo, you see strands. The way you tattooed this hair is more like a weird fur/tribal pattern. Not to mention just the entire perimeter of the face does not look the same. You totally it up.
Your style of tattooing is very wall-to-wall, but you can't tattoo a portrait wall-to-wall. What you do, you're great at, but what you need to do is get great at everything else because you're supposed to. I don't like this part of my day.
Hey, it's my fault.
It sucks.
The judges have decided. Jesse, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
Get the out of here. I really enjoy watching you work. The technical aspect that you have in the way you deliver your tattoos is incredible. What you do, top of your field. It sucks, man. It sucks because I want to see the battle royale. However, today, unfortunately, you got beat out.
I made my bed, I'm lying in it.
We hate to see you go, buddy.
Please pack your machines and close shop. Today, you will be tattooing portraits.
Holy this is gonna be a really big challenge for me. It's been a long, long time since I've done a portrait.
Let's meet your canvases. Your canvases have brought the subjects for their elimination tattoos. If your tattoo doesn't look like them, they'll be sure to let you know.
Definitely gonna be a little bit stressful having a person that I'm actually gonna be tattooing there watching me.
Canvases, one by one, please introduce the subject of your portrait.
I would like to get a portrait done of my mom.
I don't want to do all the wrinkles in there. That doesn't always play out well as a tattoo.
I'd like to get a portrait of my mother here.
You have 6 hours to tattoo an accurate portrait. If it doesn't look like the photo, you'll be packing, and your time starts now.
We decide we're going to tattoo her on her calf. She's not a big girl, and it's a lot of detail in this small spot. Every wrinkle, every strand of hair, every eyelash is going into this tattoo.
Can't believe the work that goes into this.
I have to at least try to take this home for my family. I can't keep being the bottom of the barrel.
You make sure you tell him if he's doing something wrong.
Kyle's looks like a ball of raisins kind of like smashed together. Is that horrible for me to say? He should be trying to soften her face and just show the main shapes of her face rather than every single wrinkle.
Kyle.
You accurately captured a lot of parts about this lady. If you look at the shading on their nose, it actually has dimension. You actually put the contour in there. But then you went in here and put too much time in every wrinkle. You accentuated the parts of the photo that you kind of don't want to accentuate. I don't know if I was the first one to say it, but I definitely wasn't the only one to say Leatherface when I looked at this tattoo. It's not a flattering look.
I felt like I kind of had to.
I think your accuracy is one of the stronger points on it. You nailed it, dude. It's a lot more accurate, not to pinpoint Jason, than his glasses. You had a tough one, but I think you did a great job on it personally.
Joshua. Were there any challenges with this canvas?
She has all those wrinkles. For me, it was how do I show the main ones without throwing a spiderweb across her face?
I really like this tattoo. She's got a great character. You took liberties to smooth things out, but you still captured her essence.
Technically, man, you have a very nicely executed tattoo. The thing that's a bummer is I just wish this tattoo went a little further down. Some of the aspects of the photo that make her face come alive is the fact that her hair comes a little bit longer and you see these shadows that come up here that really define the length of her face.
There really was no other place other maybe than his ribs.
Instead of putting that V line there, you could have just faded hair down a little longer just to give that neck a little bit more neck. But definitely portrait challenge is your forte. Between you and Tattoo Baby, you have the smoothest tattoos of the day.
We're here to decide who has the worst tattoo.
Well, my artist was Joshua. Portrait of my mom right here.
Looks like she has a very short haircut, and it has nothing to do with the picture. It's about accuracy.
About placement. I think where he picked to place the tattoo really hurt him.
The placement was 110% on me.
But you lose the accuracy anytime the arm moves at all.
That wasn't on my artist.
But it could cost him the money.
My tattoo artist was Kyle, and it was a portrait of my mom.
Her face is more wrinkly.
He aged her way too much. Yeah,
I think he captured all my lines. And
to me, it kind of looks like Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I don't know what to say.
He should have gave that piece more life.
But you got to understand, he had the most detailed
Definitely.
one.
There's just too much going on to actually see her.
But you don't see that it's her? You're not seeing it's her?
I think it's the worst one, I'm sorry.
I would agree.
I do too. So we've reached a decision.
Today, you must tattoo the ultimate test of precision. A portrait. Today, once again, the canvases are in pairs. Every canvas wants the same portrait as one other canvas. Wow. Giving a side-by-side comparison like never before.
Go big or go home.
That means you'll all be going head-to-head with one other artist, and the judges will directly compare your work in critique. One of you will win, and one of you will lose.
Can't lose. That is a beautiful picture.
Where are you guys planning on putting this?
On the side of my thigh?
Nice. That's the ultimate spot right there. That's the one I want. Unfortunately, we don't get to choose.
So we're doing little girl?
Yes.
Doing portraits of younger children is very difficult because they don't have definitive lines in their faces. If you put a little too much shading anywhere, this whole thing is going to hell.
I'm sweating bullets right now. Portraits are not my thing. I'm going up against Eric, and there's no margin for error.
You chose to put yourself up with Eric. Why'd you make that choice?
Figured it'd be a good push. Really be a really great challenge. My strategy on this portrait is to use all the precision I can in the eyes, the nose, and the mouth and make it look exactly like his mother. I'm not scared. I'm gonna make sure I go beyond to get this win.
Oh, wow. I love it. Right? It's pretty, right? That's awesome.
Cool. There's no chance in hell that Mark's gonna beat me today on this portrait challenge. I'm always pushing the limits. I'm always trying to be innovative.
Oh yeah, some flowers?
Yeah, some stuff just to finish it off nicely. So it'll look cool.
Well, it's looking good. If I beat Eric, the judges are definitely gonna have to take notice. My whole strategy right now is to go big or go home.
4 hours remaining.
I'm really trying to take my time here. One mistake, this portrait is done. Any little slip up, you're not gonna recognize the person.
Do you wait to do like some of the heavy darks?
I don't know. I guess it depends on the portraits, really. I mean, I don't know.
Chris's tattoo looks very sloppy. If he doesn't go back in and smooth that out, that could be the kiss of death.
This is one of the scariest, most intimidating challenges of the entire competition. And this is the one that I've been ready for since day one.
Stay with me. We're almost the end, okay?
I'm ready to watch everybody else fall down and me to rise. This may be one of my best wins.
This is what's gonna put us in a winner's circle, okay?
Mark, let's start with you. You went up against Eric.
Out of everything I've seen you do, this is the most precision I've seen you execute. Really nice details in the mouth. The really light shades and the little highlights that you did and the wrinkles of the lips really make the tattoo look beautiful. And this is a big comeback for you. Soak it in and keep trying to ride the wave.
Eric.
The attention to detail on the eyes is nice. The eyes are the most important part of the entire face. But there's certain things that are changed, like the nose. You can actually see the other side of the nostril, and in the photograph you can't. So it almost tilts the face in one aspect, but then everything else is the same.
That's how it was in the photograph when I bumped up the contrasts.
You altered details, which changed the shape of this lady's face. That bottom lip is a completely different shape than what it is in the photo. As far as precision goes, you missed the mark on that.
All right, guys, between Mark and Eric, who wins the head-to-head competition?
Mark captured the likeness. It looks like her. The proportions are totally correct.
Final answer.
Mark.
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 Winner of the head-to-head challenge is Mark. Chris, you went head-to-head with Aaron.
My big problem with this tattoo is you made up a bunch of highlights that don't exist in the photo. On her neck, underneath her chin, you just made up a complete white highlight that doesn't exist. It really does change the shape of this girl's face a lot. And then you really went graphic with it. You exaggerated the lines in her creases in her mouth. In the photo, she looks real soft and round, and you put a lot of hard edges on her that hurt you on Precision Day.
Aaron.
I think the first thing that I notice on this is that droopy eye. On the right, it sags a little bit. I think that throws things completely off.
Another place that the precision is not there is in that mouth. Those lips are not her lips. And then the really dark you did in the gums, it makes it almost look like she's missing teeth. Translation from the photo to the skin is where the precision has to be 100%. And a portrait is very unforgiving.
Portrait king just got decrowned.
All right, guys, so who wins the head-to-head competition between Chris and Aaron?
This is kind of a tough one for me. Chris, I think yours is actually over-precise. The hard lines kind of take away from any softness that a portrait might have.
Aaron's looks more like a little girl to me.
I literally find enough things in both that are bad that I don't have a clear winner or a clear loser.
Just judge each section. Just judge the mouth.
Chris got it. Chris got it.
Now just judge the eyes.
Debatable.
Just judge the hair now.
Aaron.
Aaron got it.
Just judge the chin.
Chris got it. Chris got it.
Now just judge the cheeks.
Aaron got it. Guys, I'm out. I'm not picking a winner.
Flip a coin.
We don't flip coins on this
Okay,
thing.
no, I'm just saying, man.
The fairest thing that I can say to both of you is that I don't see either one being a landslide to the plus or the minus.
I agree with that. No winner.
All right, for For this head-to-head challenge, there is no winner.
We're here to determine who had the worst tattoo of the day.
That is my tattoo, and my artist was Eric.
The thing that gets me is the dark shadow he put on the cheek. Is not enough detail, and the hair is just too flat.
And the picture looked more alive.
This is my tattoo, and my artist was Aaron. It looks more like my sister. Like, I can't see myself at all in that picture.
It's actually the eyes and the nose. It's the slight difference that he didn't catch right.
Yeah, because my sister's nose. It needed to be a little more rounder, and it's kind of just there.
He didn't do this very well.
I like the tattoo. I just think that it does not look like my daughter.
That's my tattoo. My artist was Chris.
The light's different on the left side than it is on the right side.
And the lines around the mouth, it's off, like one's higher than the other.
Yeah, one's more round, while another one looks like the line just went straight down.
Yeah.
We're at this point of the challenge where any little thing needs to be on point.
Final decision. My vote is for Chris to go.
Aaron.
The judges have decided. Aaron, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
Choices were just off. And if you would have hit one or two choices right, this would not be this decision.
Please pack your machines and close shop.
Today, your canvases want portraits of toddlers.
Toddler portraits are so much more difficult than normal portraits because the proportions have to be very round and soft. Otherwise, you can age the image and make it look like somebody that it's not.
I think his little plaid shirt is adorable, and I would definitely include that. If I can convince this canvas to switch to black and gray, I can flip this entire thing around on Kevin. I am a portrait artist. I do portraits regularly.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's such good news.
Great. But I do black and gray tattoos.
I see that you do add some color. So that's an option, maybe?
Color tattoos don't age as well as black and gray.
Well, it looks like you can still make the eyes bright, which is what I wanted. I wanted bright eyes, and you can do that with black and gray.
Oh, absolutely. If I'm doing black and gray on portrait day, kiss your ass goodbye, Kevin.
Hi. You're gonna win this thing?
I don't know, I haven't done many color faces, but
You're gonna do color?
yeah. I don't want to do a black and gray portrait right next to Kelly's black and gray portrait.
Don't stress tattooing next to her. She has a totally different style.
Yeah, you're right.
If I was gonna get tattooed by you, I would get black and gray.
All right. Well, I'd rather
Just our
listen to you guys.
opinions.
After hearing that,
what do you think?
I think I want to give them what they want to see. You know?
Let's do black and gray.
Really?
Yeah. Just win.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Gion's freaking out right now. This is the best possible scenario for me. I do portraits all the time. I don't see anybody in this house beating me on a portrait challenge.
Sometimes when you wipe it, it's worse than a tattoo.
Yeah, that hat. I took a big risk playing my strategy the way I did, staying in that middle ground. Now that things are heating up, I need to step it up and start winning.
Artists, you have 5 hours left. 5 hours remaining.
Yeah, you went for it.
Well,
Good.
if I did something that you guys didn't want and then did badly, I'd just feel like an idiot. My tattoo is not looking exactly as I had planned. Because that photo was so light, I have to put shading in there that's not necessarily in the photo. I know it's solid, but it may not be as accurate as it could be.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Time's up. Machines down. No more ink.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous. You got everything.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Nikki, you tattooed the same portrait as Kelly.
I can see the resemblance of the kid, but I think the likeness is a little bit off.
That face is really, really, really washed out, and I knew I'd have to kick up the contrast.
You missed a lot of light tones, and it's extremely bright right below his eyebrow. It's so contrasted.
To me, the area where this thing strays is how bright the eyes and lips are. The sparkle overdoes it. You put that highlight in the top of the lip, it gives it a lipstick feel.
I really think that this looks like Little Miss Teen Toddler. put a wig on it, put her in a little tutu, she's done up for the pageant.
Nate, you tattooed the same portrait as Gian.
Nate, you captured the likeness. I like the way that you captured the little indentation on the top of the nose and the really subtle highlights in the eyes. And that little glimmer is perfect.
I love the way you put a line right on his hand. Normally, a lot of people won't do that and it gets washed out. Accuracy, it hits the mark.
Thank you.
Ryan.
It's a very slick, smooth tattoo. A lot of great technical ability in there. The detail work in the shirt is very nice, but where accuracy really counted was in that eyes and that upper lip. The darkness under the eyes got a little bit too dark, and you dramatized the little peak in his lip too much.
The hair looks a little bit animated, like a comic book. It just takes a little bit of the life out of it.
The other thing that gets me is the right eye has more of a V to the top of it in your portrait than a soft, subtle roll. Those are soft little details that you miss, but on accuracy day, those are the things to point out.
She's fresh.
Thank you.
Where y'all want to put these?
On my thigh.
I want to get a picture of my son.
Oof. No babies.
Nope.
Baby portraits are the kiss of death. They're such subtle features and shading. It's so easy to mess up. Please do not give us a baby portrait.
This is my great-grandmother.
Ooh, love.
It's a nice one with me. My Nana, her mom.
Oh, that's cute. That's a good one. That's a good one.
What are you wanting to get tattooed?
Tattoo of my daughter,
Okay.
black and gray.
Can't see that.
The photo is this big. There's no way to do a precision portrait on something the size of a dime. Do not want this tattoo, please.
You will have 6 hours to tattoo a precise portrait. Based on your work, one shop will be out. Good luck.
Is that a ponytail or is that like a ribbon or something?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's a ponytail.
Okay.
Black Cobra definitely screwed us. They gave us the little tiny picture.
What do we got? What do we got? What do we got?
It's so hard to blow a little tiny photo up to get a good quality portrait.
It's all there, it's just grainy.
I'm kind of nervous right now because Aaron got kicked out on portrait day. And you know what? I was in the bottom last time I did one, but I'm not ready to go home yet. We just got here.
Can you check what I'm doing to make sure that we're on the same page?
Yeah.
I am at Eva's mercy on this one. I'm definitely not the best portrait tattooer.
So this is the gap where it's like where this is.
Yeah, there's one lower and one higher.
So
And they
this
kind of wrap around. Yep, you got it.
like that.
Yeah, that looks right to me.
I know that she knows what she's doing, so I'm just gonna try to do the same. It's a trust game at this point.
Your skin gets really red really easily.
Oh, yeah, that's
about
true.
it.
Yeah, that always
Yeah.
Oh my God, her skin is lighting up like a damn Christmas tree.
You see how's it going, bro?
You know, just making sure, because it's like getting really irritated, so I have to be like super gentle.
I have to do a super subtle, soft baby portrait, and I can't tell how dark the ink is. I am so screwed.
Oh no.
You have 4 more hours remaining.
How are we gonna judge this? We may have some clear bottoms, which might save us a lot of hard work. Allegory Arts, they're just using colored photos thrown off to the side on a black and gray portrait.
That's crazy, and they're backed to each other.
She's not even looking at the photo, she's just tapping. Artistic skin design, did you notice the skin differences?
Canvas is everything, man. You got an older woman, a young lady, their skins react different. One, just you put gray in and it's gray. The other one, you put the same gray and it don't look like nothing. It's just beat red.
Golden Skull Tattoo, you're up first.
Clean, did you practice before you came?
Yes.
I definitely want to tip my hat to you, man. You did a great portrait here. The eyes and the mouth, you hit them perfectly, especially that little turned up corner of the lip on the right side is what really captures her look.
Aaron, I like the way you did the black in the hair. Your hair maybe is a little bit better than Clean's, but as far as the application on the face and everything, Clean might have made it a little more smooth.
Y'all did a great job taking the exact same approach on the tattoo. I mean, you really tried to mimic each other's stencil to the T.
There's a lot of precision in this tattoo.
Allegory Arts.
You very clearly missed the mark on details in the photo. Y'all had the same approach for this nose, but that is not a human nose. It has a very feline look to it.
Euless, the tattoo doesn't look like this little girl. The eyes, they're just different shapes.
Well, Eva, I think you did get in there with a lot more precise detail on the hair. And overall, the technique and the shading is smoother, but you still distort the shape of her face. The shading you put above her left eye, you create these indentions and protrusions that just aren't there. On a precision day, you need to pay exact attention to every single little detail.
Nailed it.
The coffin, yeah.
Artistic skin design.
Usually you look at a portrait and you're drawn to the eyes. I'm drawn to the clothing. On both of them, that sweater and that shirt, I see precision all day, but it just looks like a different artist did the top half.
In both of them, the hair is completely different. Dane, you brought the left side down a little further, and April, you brought the right side up a little. They're not consistent or precise with the photo, and certainly not with each other. Black Cobra tattoos. There's precision in terms of being similar in your approach on the tattoo, but they're equally different from the photo.
I don't feel like either of you hit the hair in any way. There's a lot of inferred, made-up kind of styles, and that changes the dynamic of her face.
Also, the shading in the face, it doesn't look soft like skin. It looks like fur. When you look at one tattoo to the next, there's a lot of differences.
Judges, time to announce who had the best tattoos of the day. I think that Golden Skull did really great.
Yep.
Final decision?
Golden Skull.
I'm gonna have to say Golden Skull.
My decision is Golden Skull. The judges have decided the best tattoos of the day go to Golden Skull.
I didn't see that coming.
Who is this woman?
It's my grandmother on her wedding day.
And where are you wanting to get her?
On my thigh.
Are you opposed to blowing up the picture of her face instead of doing the whole body?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of detail in there and there.
It's just small. How do you pull it off? It's tiny. Tiny little face, one.
The wedding photograph is too small. I mean, a portrait, it's all about the detail. How are you gonna work with this picture?
Hi.
Oh, she's a doll.
Thank you.
Who is she?
This is my daughter.
Where are you looking to get her?
On my back.
What about color choice?
Purple.
I do a lot of faces. That's what I'm known for. I've been waiting for portrait day. Like, this is my This is what I specialize in.
That thing is blurry.
Yeah, no. It's very soft and like a lot of can get lost. So, I mean, look how up that looks. My portraits are very vintage looking anyway, so immediately I'm drawn to this wedding photo.
How's the photo when you pulled it up? Good?
Nope.
It's not.
It's really pixelated. When I blow this face up, all the features wash away. Pixel challenge. Nailed it. I can't even do a proper stencil because I can't see the features in it. I just want to be able to show off, and I hope I can with something that's, you know, it's just... At this point, I might as well just tattoo blindfolded.
Ooh.
May I myself on this one?
All right, guys, you have 6 hours to show contrast tattooing a monochromatic portrait. And your time starts now.
So we're gonna place the stencil on you standing up, so don't lay down just yet.
Portrait Day in the Ink Master House has always been an atrocity. Today we're looking for that to change.
That's gonna be black, dude.
Well, what's gonna be my darkest tone, though?
I would not go navy blue. I would go this blue.
I'm the last person on Steve's team. I feel like obligated to take his advice at this point.
That is super dark.
But Steve is just fighting me on everything that I feel is right.
I can use this blue and that blue.
No, you can't. You're wrong. I may be down to one artist, but now I don't have any more weak links. All my focus can be on Rolly. You only get one blue. And if you put that dark blue next to that black, dude, it's gonna be all black.
I'm going against my instinct, and I'm going with what Steve is telling me to do, but I'm just wondering if I'm doing the right thing here.
This is my day to show off, and I just shot myself in the foot. So I'm kind of referencing this in this picture. I'm seeing where I put my black to be like in this kind of like darker area of the dark red. I just want to make sure that's correct.
I mean, that's the only way I see it. If that's all you can use right there, that's the only way.
I'm hitting the challenge, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that this photo is blurry and wonky, and so is my tattoo. I could be screwed.
Deanna.
For a monochromatic portrait, the softness in the application is beautiful. I love the way you just cut out the negatives in the dress at the bottom, and I love the sheerness of the veil. But if we look at her two front teeth, you can see a little bit of divide, very, very slightly. But in your tattoo, you gave her one big crazy tooth in the front.
That printout of that picture, you couldn't see a tooth, you couldn't see even the hair direction.
Deanna's choice to take that portrait is a choice. That's the things you live and die by in here.
Team Steve. Rolly, come on down.
There's a few things that stand out to me is that you could have done a little different. Number one, the teeth. In the photo, she has some shadows on her teeth that the shadows are the angles. In your tattoo, you angled the teeth.
Where I find this gets strange is how you have that solid line that's creating the shape of her cheek. In the photo, that would be a softer blended appearance. And so the shape of her face gets a little bit away from you. All right, guys, it's time to determine who's going home.
If you put Deanna's next to Rolly's, it's night and day. Mouth's off, eyes are off in Rolly's, and it's not applied as well.
My eyes are at least in the right place.
Deanna's are in the right place.
For a portrait, cross-eyed and a buck tooth kind of ends it for me.
Knowing what these photos look like, there's too many things that get away in Jason's tattoo. My vote's for Jason.
I just gotta go for likeness. My vote is for Deanna. The judges have decided, Deanna, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. It's really been an honor. Thank you.
I don't agree with this. I hate to see you go. Know that you're just as good as anybody else in this competition.
Please pack your machines and close shop.
Let's meet your canvases.
Traditional illustrative portrait of my grandmother on my forearm, and I would like to get the whole body.
Would you be against doing less?
Yeah, because I kind of really do.
Just because when you're going that small, to make it look just like her is gonna be pretty hard.
Anytime you're doing a portrait this small, it's gonna be difficult, but you could probably turn it into a traditional pinup style tattoo, especially given that the woman already looks like a pinup.
I mean, maybe if you crop the legs out.
So you're willing to work with how much we can cut off and how much bigger you can
Yeah,
do?
we'll see.
Thank you.
I'm looking to do a black and gray portrait of my grandma on my arm.
That's probably the clearest picture here, and it's the smallest one.
This tattoo could potentially be really cool. It has a lot of detail in it that can lend itself to a really cool traditional tattoo.
I would like to get a colored portrait of my daughter on my shoulder blade.
Oh, portraits of little kids. That is really hard. Their features are so soft. Definitely the hardest one up there.
Ooh, I just got nauseous.
Artists, you have 6 hours to tattoo a traditional illustrative portrait, and your time begins now.
All right, dude, let's do it.
See if we can get this thing to work.
Step on over here, man.
This is Portrait Day with a twist. We're asking these artists to do renderings of photographs. So the photograph and the portrait that they create have to look alike, but they have full license to use heavy lines, heavy color, deep black shading.
I think we'll be able to pull it off. Let's do it.
They can do it as they see fit, as long as they capture the look of the picture.
Let's see what we could get started, all right?
Yeah.
It's confusing because they said illustrative traditional portraits. So it's like, well, which one is it?
Traditional is the exact opposite of portraits. Portraits are realistic, not much line work at all. Traditional is bold outlines and solid black that's whipped out.
People want it to look like the people. So that's why I was like, when I was doing yours, I'm like, I'm gonna try to make it look like as I can. And then like the hair and the shirt, stuff like that, I can get a little bit more traditional. Did more illustrative face with traditional hair and body.
I think a lot of people would assume that being illustrative would be easier, but changing some of these features to make them simpler is actually gonna be harder.
So I'm a little worried, not for me, but for Pon.
I was afraid that I scared you away. I wasn't trying to be mean. I hope she doesn't think I'm actually really nice.
I definitely went back and I was like, I don't think this is gonna work.
Since I gotta go more illustrative, now I have to show a little bit more detail, and the face is too small to show all the details and make it look like this person.
I got a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, we felt the same, but we feel the same now, so that's better.
That's it.
It has teeth in the tattoo, and I don't know how to approach this without making it look like it has veneers.
Ah, shit, Grandma's got a mustache.
Oh my God, I was like, are you kidding?
Tough crowd, tough crowd.
I am shook as
4 hours left, everybody.
She's such a cutie.
My canvas wants a portrait of her daughter on her shoulder blade.
I'm just making sure it's like super, super clean.
I've been excited for Portrait Day since day one. I'm gonna make it look great, just, you know, because it's your daughter. The kid portrait is a difficult ask, but I think the full body one was probably more difficult. And I'm really surprised that Pon gave that to himself.
I think I'm going home. Why? Like, I'm supposed to be making it look traditional, but I went to black and gray.
Like this?
Yours is nice. Mine doesn't look traditional enough.
I feel like you have to go traditional, but not so traditional where it doesn't look like the person anymore.
Have you looked at the girls?
Laura's is not traditional at all.
I don't think mine's traditional enough.
We'll make it.
How do I do that?
There's so many factors that come into play specifically with child portraits that you cannot do. You can't put harsh lines on the eyes or anything, or else the child can either look like it's wearing makeup or that they're older than they really are.
Dude, everyone's doing different stuff. I don't get it.
They want what Jason's doing.
How am I supposed to do that with a little kid?
That was the whole point.
Oh, okay. So that's the curveball you guys were throwing me.
Yeah.
My mind automatically flocks to realism when I do portraits, so I'm still stuck in that mindset.
I think I'm in trouble for the first time.
To try to completely change that, I mean, I hate to say it, but I might have just found my weak spot.
Or I was all, you know, really pumped for portrait day, and I don't know what happened.
Jake.
You definitely get a good look of an antique photo and bring it into an illustrative style. The way you do the hair, the necklace, the clothing, and the outline is right on point. The rich black, open skin, way to go.
The stylized way that you shade the face but still have your softness to it works. The hard lines and the simplicity of it anchor the face in. The hairdo anchors the face in and gives us the feeling of seeing the lady that was there. I believe overall that for hitting the likeness, you do a really good job.
Thank you.
Pawn.
As far as capturing the look of the person with a simple drawing, you don't do it. If you look at her right eye, the top of her eye is curved, and the tattoo, it's a straight line and then curved underneath. Just the little looks of what's going on, you lose it. The shape of the mouth is off, the width of the neck.
I was hoping to do a pinup. She wasn't budging on anything, and then I got in my own head.
As dark as you went in the collarbone, as weird as the shoulders come out, I can be like, okay, it's stylized, gritty, it's whatever if you're looking to go that route of illustration, but what I can't not see is the precision in the face. Her eyes don't line up, the nose has a crazy curve to it, the mouth is off-center. That's all the places where you need to be precise.
Laura.
It is a nice, well-applied tattoo, but it's hard for me to say that this really looks like this girl. The expression on the face, you're not really getting that little tight grin, and her neck looks really wild. The way you have the back of her shoulder and her neck going all the way up to the ear makes her neck enormous.
That sucks.
The other thing that I really dislike, these black lines you put on her forehead that aren't connected, that are just random black lines there. I know that you're trying to show the suggestive loose hairs, but it's very strange play.
Based on your work, one of you will be packing your machines. Ultimately, one thing is for sure, these canvases wanted a rendering that looked like the photo. So that's where I'm coming from. My decision is for Pawn.
Pawn.
The judges have decided. Pawn, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
Hey, man, I'm glad to have made it this far.
Please pack your machines and close shop.
Thank you, guys.
So what are you wanting to get today? Black and gray portrait of my grandmother on my left eye.
That's cake all day. Jarrell, that's the one that I want.
Black and gray portrait of my mother on my left shoulder blade.
That was a great one.
Black and gray portrait of my great-grandmother on my calf.
It's a tricky one.
The face in this portrait is going to be really difficult to achieve. It could go wrong in so many ways.
You'll have 6 hours to tattoo a portrait of a senior citizen. This is your chance to show the judges precisely what you're made of. Fail to impress us, and you will be packing your bags. Good luck.
It's gonna be a pretty gentle process, so don't tap out on me.
You are light-handed.
Yes, ma'am.
I might be driving to Oklahoma for my next tattoo.
My tattoo is a portrait of my canvas's great-grandmother. She's got a full head of black hair, so making this look not like a solid mass of black sludge is a really delicate balance.
Oh, sweet.
Yep, having fun. Cool. I knew that at some point, Jarrell would start playing this game for himself. This is a bomb, and I'm not gonna let that land.
I'm gonna have to finish before I won. I can't believe that I'm having skin issues right now. Everything is red and everything is dark.
How's the pain? Well, once in a while it hits a spot.
Hopefully it'll lose the redness at some point. I'm gonna be able to see and add little details here and there. But for now, I'm working blindly. Don't move for a second. Let your skin breathe. I've been calling for this day from the beginning of this competition. This was my day to kill it, hit the table, and put everybody on notice.
You're about running out of time. I can't take much more of it.
I can't believe that my life is in danger right now.
3, 2, 1. That's it. Machines down. Time is up. No more ink.
Wow. I love it.
Cool.
Looks beautiful, man.
Dude, I love it. It's amazing. It looks exactly like her.
What's up, dude?
Killed that shit.
Thanks, man.
Frank.
Your values got a little bit further away from you than they needed to be. The darkness of that V between her eyes, it's turning her expression to a meaner expression.
She has a couple of freckles or moles that you made a lot more noticeable than they are in real life. And then instead of showing me that she's got wrinkle lines, you show bubbles on the chin. Your interpretation of these textures give it a different look than what's in the photo.
Had to happen to somebody.
Hiram.
You get some great details. The details in the teeth are nice, but they're way harsh compared to the softness of the photo. You get hyper detail in these wrinkles, and she looks way older in the tattoo than she does in the photo. You aged her.
Just letting it fall back and giving those little inferences, that's the move. Less is more.
That thing looks crazy. It's okay, man.
Hey, I deserve it.
Angel.
A white hairdo like this is tricky, but the way you put the heavy black around the outside and leave a lot of negative and just a little bit of detail in it, it looks very believable.
The silhouette shape of the hair is the only part where you miss it a little bit. But when I look at the picture and I look at the tattoo, I see the likeness. I think it's spot on.
Thank you.
You killed it.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Judges, it is time to determine who's going home.
I got problems with all three of these tattoos.
I mean, for me, I'm looking for which photo looks like the tattoo the most. The bottom half of Frank's tattoo is a different person.
The brow, the nose, and this sharp angle on the lip, they're three major differences dead smack in the center of the face. My vote is for Frank.
My vote's for Frank.
The judges have decided, Frank, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
It's been an excellent experience. I'm just so stoked to have gone as far as I have.
I commend you for the way you conduct yourself and your tattooing, man.
Please pack your machines and close shop.
Thank you very much.
Hiram and Bob, one of you will also be packing your machines today.
Holy shit.
All right, judges, who is the second artist going home today?
The problem with Hiram's is that you see these crazy shapes and details that aren't human-like, like the neck. That is not the details of her neck.
Then you have the dots everywhere on Bob's.
Right, but I'm leaning towards Bob as hitting it better, just on likeness alone. Final decision.
My vote is for Hiram.
And my vote's for Hiram.
The judges have decided, Hiram, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
It's the way shit happens, man.
Please pack your machines and close shop.
Thank you very much, guys.